Chris Watkin here with Gavin, who is South Africa's #1 real estate coach. Do you believe that the valuer list and negotiator relationship with vendors is broken totally?
I believe it's completely broken here in the UK. And I believe that is the fundamental reason that you cannot establish the relationship with the customer and ensure that you help that customer.
Because it's interesting, in the UK, you get the valuer comes out, it sits on the sofa, really good at converting.
Very good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that valuer then goes into a witness protection program and you never hear from them.
Yes.
Because basically all the viewings is done by the negotiators in the office. And this will shock you. Well, I know it won't shock you because you know this already. All the negotiating's done by little Floss, who's been behind the desk for 6 months.
And that is harsh. I can't imagine being a seller in that situation, because your job as a listing agent is to help that seller and give value. And how would you give value? Well, your job is to get them the most money as quickly as you can.
Well, your job's to convert, isn't it? That's what most valuers do, isn't it?
To convert, but to convert at the best price you can do for them with the least problems and as quickly as you can. So there's price, time and money.
But that means, are you telling me that the valuer needs to do all the viewings, arrange all the do the negotiating?
Not necessarily. I do believe he should be involved with the negotiating. I do understand that he cannot run every buyer there, but once that buyer decides that he wants to purchase that property and make an offer, I believe that valuator should step in and help that seller.
Because that's really rare in the UK. Does that shock you?
Yes, it does.
It's interesting, we had Nick Neal here, who's in charge of YouMove, part of the Property Franchise Group, and he insists his franchisees do everything. Isn't it interesting, though, that they get really high scores on Trustpilot?
That's what it's all about, because today it's about trust, isn't it? And reviews.
Oh, but hold on a second. That means that you're not going to be able to have as many properties on your books.
Well,
hold on. He said, I'm helping you out here. They charge higher fees.
Do I want a lot of properties, or do I want less properties that sell? At the end of the day, you want properties that sell, and you want to help people so that you can get referral business, so that you can help those people moving forward in many different ways.
Where do you think the self-employed model comes in on this? I mean, let's all be frank, you're from the Remax model, which is a self-employed model. You're not being paid to be here, and I'm not being paid either. Where do you think the self-employed model could help with this?
Well, I do believe the self-employed model is an all-encompassing model that allows the agent to take on a mandate, work that mandate, service that seller, get the property sold for that seller by building a relationship and giving ongoing value and service.
So do you genuinely believe that the issue, we talked about it in a previous video, that the issue of that we're more business, that we are transactional based, not relationship or business person based, and the fact that the valuer just goes out some lists and doesn't create a relationship, it's fundamentally because they don't take ownership, and the self-employed model will basically complete that circle?
Absolutely. That previous model, that valuator is transactional. He's not business minded, because the objective is not to make sure that property sells and be in contact with that seller at all stages to make the adjustments, to make the suggestions, and to guide that seller through a very difficult path. And that seller needs that. They need that guidance.
Thank you.